Welcome to tonight's webinar on mastering a success mindset for network marketers. I am super excited to do this call. This industry, I'm a massive fan. I'll share my story throughout the call. I'm just really happy that you're here. I acknowledge you for one, showing up tonight, and two, for being involved in this amazing industry. I'm going to share with you tonight why I believe it's so amazing and what my mentor has to say with it. You can actually use some of the quotes moving forward as you recruit more team members to the industry. We have quite a few different companies on tonight, but I'm going to invite a very special person, Arden, to actually join me in a couple minutes, because she's actually the catalyst for this call. She's the reason why we're all on tonight, and I want to thank her and her team. I'm going to share my screen in just a moment, and I'll share with you more about myself and where I came from. But let's first hear from Arden. I want to recognize you and really ask you to give a big welcome on behalf of the industry. Arden's from Norwex, and I'll share her poster or her picture in a moment. But do you want to join me on live?
Sure.
So what does mindset mean to you, and why do you believe this call was so important for your team?
Mindset is huge, actually. Every time I shift my mindset towards my goals and focus on the process of getting there and shifting how I feel about my goals, it always makes a huge difference and propels me forward to reaching them. So making a decision and setting my actions and my goals towards that decision really makes a huge difference for me. I've done it a couple times. I always get a little, I start procrastinating and slack once in a while, but if I bring myself back to that spot, I find that I'm able to get back on track and get closer to my goals again. So just recently I did a 6-week action plan with my team and my leader. And I actually ended up achieving all of the goals that I set for myself and my team. So that was really exciting.
That's so cool. And you and I have had several conversations about mindset since, we first, I guess that was over a year ago now, wasn't it? That I did the seminar for your company. What do you think for you? What was a big shift? Because I know so much has changed since then, and you and I have touched base throughout the year and a half, I guess. What's like one thing that you said a keyword, decision. Is there anything else that you would say really resonates with you, or something about mindset that they
Yeah, so definitely deciding to do something is the biggest piece of the puzzle. Once you decide, your brain actually finds a way to make that true. So if you already believe it, then you can absolutely work towards those goals. And then the second thing would be just shifting your mindset about how you approach things, like sharing an opportunity to do direct sales. Instead of being afraid that you're going to sound salesy or pushy, just shifting that to, you have an amazing opportunity to share with somebody, and it's a gift, and it's your responsibility to share it with everyone who you meet. Whether or not it's something that they need to hear is up to them, but just not being being unapologetic about sharing that opportunity with people.
You know what's interesting? You said something really key. You mentioned the word belief. So this is what we know at the Institute to be true. Whatever beliefs you're holding in your mind, whether it's about yourself, your opportunity, your company, your product, your mind has to prove that right. So you'll notice, like, let's say you have a belief that your product's too expensive. You will attract people that will give you that objection.
Exactly.
They have to, because your mind has to prove you right. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, very interesting. And I've found that happens. I didn't really believe that for a long time until I saw it happen more often, because I kind of, if you fake it till you make it sometimes and just put yourself out there and give it a try as almost an experiment to see what will happen, it's actually pretty amazing what can become your reality.
Yeah, that's so great. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for joining. Thank you for being really the catalyst for this call. We had over 200 people register for this call tonight. So
Wow.
just to show you, like when I first did a network marketing call a few years ago, you know, we'd be lucky if we had like 15, 20 on it. Just so it just shows you what amazing time it is for the industry as well. And I just want to thank you for starting it off. And then we have a bunch of different companies you'll be happy to hear on the call. So you've really put a lot of good into this industry.
Wow. I actually had no idea. So thank you for sharing that with me. And thank you so much for doing this call for all of us. I'm happy to be the catalyst.
Awesome. So with that, we'd love to hear from all of you. Please write in the chat. And I've got Nora, one of my team members, on, and she's just going to monitor the chat with me tonight. I'd love to know where you're from, what company you represent tonight, and maybe how long you've been in the industry. And we'll just keep an eye. And really, this is all about you tonight. This is about your industry, network marketing, and I come from the industry, so I've created this presentation specifically for you. And let's get started. How does that sound? All right. So I'll share my screen. So as I share my screen here, I will not be able to see as many of you as I'd like, and that's okay. We will open it up for questions. And like I said, Nora is actually monitoring this chat for me, and she will make sure that we get all your answers, all your questions to your answers, no, all your answers to your questions before we wrap, and I'll stay on with you to help as long as I can. So here we go. The Mastering a Success Mindset for Network Marketers. My name is Danielle Amos, and you'll notice a quote at the top of the page here. It says, "The only limits in our life are those we impose on ourselves." This is a quote from my mentor, Bob Proctor, where this information comes from. I want you to think about this. The only limits we have, and we've tested this over and over at the Institute, the only limit you have in this business, in your life, is the limit you put on yourself, the belief system that you hold about you. So tonight it's my goal to have you move past those limits, to get out of literally the box that you've been putting yourself in, and to create a mindset that really will allow you to achieve anything you want in this business. And what's so cool about network marketing is that really you have no limits. So like I said, this call was only for network marketers. So this is for you. Oh, please, like I said, share your company. I believe we have over about 14 different companies in our community. And like I said, I come from the industry, and I'm a big believer in why network marketing, why it's the time for network marketing. So here I am, Danielle Amos, and how I was introduced to this material, how I got here. I was probably where a lot of you are on the call. I had jumped into network marketing from a corporate career, and I thought that I just needed more time in order for my network marketing career to take off. I had this really strong belief that I had to do more to be more successful. So I had to work harder to be more successful. And network marketing was my side hustle for a good 2.5 years, and my results weren't anything to write home about. And I'm not sure if you can relate to this, but I actually joined my company with the belief that I'd go right to the top. I thought that if she can do it, I can do it. It looks quite easy. I believe in the product. And that didn't happen. And over time, the harder that I tried, it seemed like the further the gap became, and the more frustrated I was. Fast forward, my mom actually dragged me to a seminar, and I say drag because I was sitting at the back with my arms crossed, And I didn't want to be there because I was one of those people that had read all of the books. If you look on my bookshelf over here, it's packed. And that's just like one of 5 bookshelves. I had read all the books and I had been studying self-help for quite a while. And I thought that I knew everything. I thought that I didn't need this, which is a very interesting place to be. And I thought the reason why I wasn't successful was that it wasn't the time for network marketing. Maybe it was too early, or my friends wouldn't buy from me. My husband didn't believe in the industry. And I had all of these reasons and excuses, and none of them were actually true. They were just beliefs that were in my mind that was holding me back. And I sat at the back of the seminar and I started to really open up. And it was this seminar that I'm going to give you tonight. And at the end of the seminar, I decided that I was committed to making a decision to go to the top and really change my mindset about the industry and my own worth, what I was capable of. And fast forward 6 months, I tripled my income in network marketing. I went from about $2,000 a month to $7,800. I started earning the company trips. I was on stage as a top recruiter. And this all happened so quickly that I want to tell you something, that my activity really didn't change much. It was my mindset that shifted. And what I know now is that success is 95% mindset and only 5% strategy. I want you to really think about this. Your success is 95% mindset and 5% strategy. And what I know about each one of your companies is that you are given very good training. You're given very good strategies by your upline. So I'm not going to talk about much strategy tonight. I'm going to focus purely on mindset. Here's your picture, Arden. So Arden's responsible for this call tonight, and she's a Norwex executive sales leader. I want to give a big thanks to her because, you know, I love the industry, and that's why we're here. And really, without you really putting the pressure on us, really, not really, but really asking us to do this call, we wouldn't be here tonight. And I remember the struggle when I first started. So it's my hope tonight for your team and all the other teams and the leaders on the call is that I give you something that can actually get you from A to Z in a very short period of time. How does that sound?
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Danielle.
So a shout out to all the other leaders that are on the call as well. Thank you for inviting your teams. Like I said, I believe that you'll agree with this. You already know how to do network marketing, right? Would you agree? Give me some love. Yes. You know, we know that we have to ask people to try our products. We have to ask people to join the business and host for us. You know how to do that. And I often heard this, we have one mouth and 2 ears for a reason. We know how to open our mouth and therefore open our business. So it's not that's the problem. You know, we're also told how to close the sale, right? We have lots of scripts, lots of training in each company. But imagine this. Imagine if you started to do what you know you already know how to do, or you know you're supposed to do. So some companies, they have a certain number of outreaches on social media that they're supposed to do each day. Maybe it's a number of events or parties you're meant to book in a month. Imagine if you, for 1 month, did exactly what your upline trained you to do every day. Where do you think your results would be? Put them in the comments. Because it's interesting, because it's not that you don't know what, it's just that we don't do it. And listen, I train across all industries and it's the same. It doesn't matter if I'm speaking to people in insurance, real estate, network marketing, sales, executive sales. It's the same thing. We know what to do, but we're not doing what we know to do. And the whole reason is because of the mindset. And so what about you? Were you like me and you had this belief that if you just tried harder, you get better results? Anyone relate to that? If you had more time to do your business, you'd get better results? This was me, and I know now where this came from. I ended up quitting my corporate job because I thought I just needed more time, and nothing changed. It's actually not time. Time, we all have the same amount of time. It's actually how effective we are in the time that we have. Now, let's agree. So in order, how the mind works is the more that you can agree, the more that this seminar tonight, this webinar will help you. So who would like to learn how to work smarter rather than harder? Yeah. Would anyone like more confidence when they approach another person? And are you willing to stay open tonight? Really, really important. Who's willing to stay open? And would you like 2020 to be your best year yet in your business? Okay. So really important that you agree and just nod as you agree with what I'm saying. The reason is because the more you can stay open, the more you can put away, the more you put away your distractions and understand this, that you are here for a reason, that you attracted this call, whether it was an invitation from your upline or sideline, or perhaps you saw it somewhere. This is for you tonight. And I want to tell you a story of, this is Lauren. Lauren's not in network marketing. She's actually in insurance, a very similar industry. She was in an event just like this in California that I gave in October. And I asked everyone to stay open, just like I'm doing tonight. She put away all distractions. And what can happen in a seminar like this is an idea, a person's name may come to mind. It might be an idea for a social media post, or someone that you want to follow up with or ask to host for your business. That person's name, that idea for a post is coming to you for a reason. And so tonight, as you stay open and get connected to your goal, you want to act on these ideas because they're good ideas. And Lauren, who you see in this picture, she got one name came to mind in a 3-hour seminar I did. On the break, she called the gentleman, and that person ended up purchasing a large sum of insurance for his company, himself personally and his company, that resulted in $25,000 commission. One call. And this is what I know to be true. In network marketing, one call can make all the difference in your team. That one person that you sponsor, that one person that hosts for you. I know it's made such a difference for so many leaders on this call. If you think back to that one call. And so tonight, I'm going to raise your vibration to a place where these ideas will come to you. And I want you to act on them. Napoleon Hill, in this book, Think and Grow Rich, he says that when an idea flashes into your mind, it will come so quick. You have to act on it. If you don't, it will be detrimental to your success. But think back, we've all had names flash in our mind before, haven't we? We've all had ideas, and we think we'll remember them. Tonight, I'm going to ask you to put pen to paper and write them down as they come and act as soon as you get off this call. So put away your distractions, and I promise you that we're in for a ride tonight. One more example. This is from another person that was on a call, very similar to this. She also stayed open, and she was recognized after just a few weeks of this work and implementing what I taught her, being recognized as a top achiever in her company. Really interesting how quickly things can turn around. For me, it was 3 weeks after I started implementing the materials in this seminar. So same thing can happen for you. So at the top of your page, top of your notebook, I want you to write down what's one thing that you'd like to achieve this year in your business, and what's one thing that you'd like to change. And I'm asking you to write it down because this is how you're going to keep your goal top of mind for the ideas to flow. One thing that you'd like to achieve and one thing that you'd like to change. And we'll come back to this. All right, so tonight, We're going to go over very quickly Bob Proctor and where this information came from. We'll talk about your thinking and why your thinking is so important. We'll talk about your goals, what's holding you back, or at least getting you your current results. We'll also talk about the importance of decision. Arden talked about decision. We'll confirm that tonight, and then taking action. And like I said, I'll stay on for till about 9:30 to answer your questions if you have them. So write them all down, and I'm happy to get to them. So here we are. Here's Bob Proctor. Who knows Bob Proctor from the movie The Secret? Raise your hand or even write in the chat. Bob Proctor is 86 years young. His wife is actually a network marketing leader. She came from the insurance business. And listen to this. She was earning $40,000 a year in insurance. She met Bob Proctor at a seminar. He told her what I'm going to tell you tonight, implemented it, and her income that year went from $40,000 to over $400,000 by implementing this exact same seminar. I've been trained by Bob to give you this seminar. So this is why I stay open, because if you implement this, you can change your business. Bob Proctor is best known from the movie The Secret, but listen, his education, his work in the mindset field goes way beyond that movie. He's actually been studying the mind for the last 60 years. And he's been studying what makes certain people successful and other people average and other people below the average line. And what he knows now, what the Institute can tell us, is that your success is 95% due to your mindset, your beliefs, your thoughts, your feelings, and then which leads to your actions, and only 5% strategy. So there is Bob. He's Canadian and he absolutely loves this industry. I want to tell you what he said. He was quoted as saying, actually at the GoPro conference, as well numerous times after that, as saying that if he was to make his millions all over again, he would do it in network marketing. He believes that network marketing is the most fair industry in the world. It is the industry that is actually working by law. And what's interesting about that is when we work in harmony with the laws, money flows very easily to us. Business becomes easy. And that's what the Institute's all about, is teaching you how to work in harmony with the universal laws. So where does this information come from? Well, we have Andrew Carnegie on the left. Andrew Carnegie was considered the first billionaire, some say. He was responsible for Napoleon Hill writing this book. And I'll just get you guys to go on mute if you aren't. There we go. I'll mute everyone. Andrew Carnegie was responsible for commissioning Napoleon Hill to write the book Think and Grow Rich. This is a classic that many people have read. And if you haven't, I highly recommend it and get this copy. It's the black original text. Napoleon Hill was mentored by Andrew Carnegie very early on. And Napoleon Hill then was mentored Earl Nightingale in the professional development industry. And Earl Nightingale was known for his radio show on personal development way back in the 70s. And if you were a president or a leader of a company, you would take Earl Nightingale's seminars and listen to his radio show. Earl Nightingale then mentored Bob Proctor in this material, and Bob actually went to work with Earl in Chicago. And now I always say my head's next, so my face is next in this picture. Just 5 years ago, I wrote that I wanted to be Bob Proctor's protege. And here I am teaching the material to you. And Bob always says this was not his material. This is a direct lineage of the great thinkers over the past more than a century. And so this is not new material, but what I love about the way Bob teaches it is that it's so easy to understand and apply it to your life. And so here I am with Bob. Fast forward now, I mentioned how I was first in this seminar, then studied this work, tripled my income in network marketing in 6 months. And then from there, I decided that I wanted to jump in and teach other people this material, because when I first jumped into network marketing, I was really struggling. Like I said, I thought something was wrong with me. I thought that, you know what, I'm just not cut out to be a leader. Like clearly, you know, I'm not sure why, but I just can't do this. And I was a very good victim. And what I realized was that it was just my mindset, and that I was so hard on myself, when if I just understood how my mind worked, I would have went to the top much faster. And looking back to how hard I was on myself and how much I was struggling, I knew I had to help other people just like you, other women just like you, because we make it hard. We literally, like I was saying with Arden, like if you believe, your mind has to prove you right. So if you believe it's going to be hard, it's going to be hard. So let's wipe that out tonight. Let's give you the tools and resources to go to the top. Fast forward, it's funny, when I was listening to Bob, when I first got into this, I wrote that I wanted to be his protege, and I had no idea how. I didn't even know anyone that actually knew Bob at the time. And my mind was like, who do you think you are, Danielle? You're not in this industry. You have no results to really show anyone or write home about. And I wrote it down anyway. And fast forward, I'm going to share this with you, not to impress you, but to impress upon you that this material works and that you can do it too. I'm right now, number 3 in his company worldwide as a coach. And he said to me, Danielle, you can turn that yearly income into your monthly. And I didn't believe that. But now that's what I am here to do. I'm here to show other women how to do exactly what I've done. And the beautiful thing about network marketing is that you can do that. You become successful by helping other people become successful. That's why this is the most fair industry in the world, and the best industry in accordance to the universal laws, which is all about abundance. Because the more people you help, the better you do, which is incredible. So congratulations for being here. So here we are, Andrew Carnegie. I'm going to give you 4 quotes that are really important to understand. And I recommend even taking screenshots of them and really studying them. Andrew Carnegie said, any idea that is held in the mind, that is emphasized, that is either feared or revered, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate form available. What does this mean? Well, either you're holding a goal in your mind, or you're holding something that you're worried about. Think about what consumes your mind, especially around month end. Anyone ever really start to worry about the how, or get obsessed the closer the month end comes? I remember that being like a very uptight feeling for me. But what's interesting is Andrew Carnegie says any idea that you either hold on to, that you revere, you get excited about, or you fear, is going to come into your physical world. And for me, as soon as I read that, I know for me, the worry is a stronger emotion. And the stronger the emotion, the more ability, the faster that will attract it to us. Let's look at what Napoleon Hill says. He says that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe. So what are you believing about your industry, about yourself, about your product, your company? Whatever you are believing, you can have. Napoleon Hill. And this is very much what Earl Nightingale says too. You become what you think about. You become what you think about. And Bob Proctor says thoughts become things. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you can see you with your goal achieved, you can hold it in your, I'm going to just mute everyone again. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. That's all you need. Thoughts become things. Now, I have to admit, when I heard that, I didn't really understand it or believe it to be true. It seemed too good to be true. But I want you to stay open, because if this is true, which it is, what does that mean for you? What does that mean for you? So let's take a look. If you, and you want to change it for you, like if you become what you think about, what have you been thinking? And I should warn you, I'm going to take you on a little bit of a roller coaster tonight on purpose, because it's my goal here to really create an emotional impact so that I can make it shift for you tonight. So if you become what you think about, what have you been thinking? Have you been thinking lack and limitation, or have you been thinking about all the wonderful things that can happen with your business? And be honest with yourself now. Be honest with me. If you're like 95 to 97% of the planet, you're most likely sitting in a lack and limitation place. Why? Because we've been programmed to look for what's wrong. We've been programmed on the negative side. And I think it's a way to protect ourselves. And, you know, if you think about it, way back when we were human beings, even in caves, we had to look for danger, right? So I think it's a way that we've been programmed a long time ago. But what's interesting, unless you grew up in a home that was full of abundance, you most likely were like me, where you were programmed to think about what's wrong first, rather than all the abundance that's possible. And if you want to know what you've been thinking, it's very simple. You can take a look at your current results. So everyone has a workbook, and I encourage you to fill out the workbook after this call. Take some time and write about your current results. Now, it doesn't serve you to sugarcoat anything. This is only for you. And so take a look at where you currently are. And where you currently are is just a reflection of the thoughts you've been holding on to. Okay. The truth is everything's been made twice. I love to use the cell phone as an example. The idea of the iPhone was first made in Steve Jobs' mind. He first saw it in his mind, and then it became a reality. And this is the same for everything that exists in our universe. So same thing for your results. So take a look where you've been. Does this resonate? Who else is with me where you grew up in a home where you noticed what was wrong, or it was always down that more negative path? I can even use a really simple example is, you know, we often say things like, don't worry, or in society, like, don't be late, don't forget this. You see how we're constantly talking about what we don't want? And if we even switch our communication to, hey, you know, be on time, or if I'm reminding my daughter, hey, Eloise, remember your mitts at the end of the day, right? Can you relate? We often talk about what we don't want. And this is what I know to be true, that the universe doesn't know the difference between the don't and the do's. So even when you're thinking about your goal, if you say, I want to get out of debt, you're going to attract more debt. Or if you say, I don't want my host to cancel, guess what you're asking for? You're asking the universe, please have her cancel. It's so interesting. I had no idea. It's such a simple shift in our mindset. Yeah, a lot of people can relate. That's great. So let's take a look at where your mind has been. James Allen, from the book As a Man Thinketh, he says, we think in secret, but it comes to pass. Environment is but our looking glass. Take a look at your current results and it will show where your thoughts have been. And so first, I love to go to finances because it shows where your mindset, exactly where your mindset is, but you can also look at your sales targets. Are you able to say yes to your family? Are you able to afford things that you want? Or do you make decisions because of price? Or maybe it's business. Are you meeting your sales targets at the end of the month? Or were you like me where you would you'd set a goal every month and then it would be like the 21st, 25th, and you'd gradually be retreating back. And month after month, it seemed like the same goal for me. I think I had $10,000 written down for it felt like 2 years. Do your results go up and down? Do you have an amazing month and then not great? That up and down is because of the mindset. And I'm going to share why that is. Do you follow up, or do you do a great presentation and then leave all of these amazing prospects on the table? You set goals and then get stopped. Do you have balance, or are you reacting? Reacting is part of a mindset. Do you eat healthy, or do you lose weight and gain weight? Up and down, up and down. This is all because of the mind, your powerful mind. And again, I highly recommend that you stay objective here. What I mean by that is look at your results as a scientist would. It's very easy to feel bad and think, oh yeah, that's me. But listen, until now, you most likely didn't know why you're getting the results you're getting. So I want you to stay open and really just notice, like a scientist would notice. They wouldn't take it personally if they notice a temperature dip, for example, right? I also want to say too, if you're like me, I had every reason in the book for my current results. And I gave a few of them at the beginning of the call. I said, my husband didn't believe in the industry, or my friends wouldn't host. The truth is that none of those reasons were the real reasons. It's not because of your circumstances. It all comes back to you and your thinking. And when I was sitting with my arms crossed in the back of the seminar, I was asked to take responsibility for my results. And I'm going to ask you tonight to take responsibility for your results. Because until and unless you take responsibility and full responsibility and stop playing victim like I was, nothing can really change, because you've always got a foot out the back door. See, the truth is, thoughts become things. All your past success and failures is because of your thinking, nothing else. And science has proven that. I'm going to show you that tonight. So stay open, accept this idea, and choose to be empowered by this knowledge, because as soon as you take responsibility, you can change it. Remember, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. So that's saying all you need to do is see yourself with your goal. See yourself with that promotion, crossing stage, whatever it is for you. See it in your mind and you can have it. That is my promise. So I know that these are some of the things that I often hear from people, that it's hard to get bookings, that everyone cancels on me, my team doesn't duplicate, or no one wants to do this with me, or it's not the right time of year. February's slow, March is slow, or maybe July, everyone's on holidays. Can you relate to all of these? See, if thoughts become things, we have to be really careful about what we're saying, what we're typing, what we're texting. Because like I was saying, as soon as we got on this call, your mind has to prove you right. Can you relate to any of these? Give me some I said probably every one of these often. And if you are saying this like your mind has to keep giving you this. So it's hard to get bookings. Well, it's going to be hard. Yeah, you can relate to this. So I'm going to ask you to make a decision right here. You can even declare it in the chat. I'm drawing a line in the sand. No more am I going to say things like this. Instead, I'm going to say what I want. I'm going to think only what I want to happen. So for example, instead of it's hard to get bookings, it may not be my reality right now. The more I repeat it, the more I'm going to accept it to be true. It's easy for me to book my calendar. Everyone is happy to host for me. My team duplicates and they are on fire. I used to say business qualified, I used to say QV because that was our sales, but you could say qualified leads, QV sales and qualified leads come easily to me. So I would say that over and over and over. Everyone I talk to wants to do this with me. They've been waiting for me to ask them to join my team. And every month is the best month for my business. Listen, I'll tell you something about, I believe she's on the call, Wendy. She just had one of her best months in her company when usually it's one of the slowest months. Whatever you believe to be true is going to be your truth. So we change our belief to be one that we need to believe to get our goal. So if thoughts become things, if your current results are all because of the way you've been thinking, 95% mindset and 5% strategy, don't you agree it's time to draw the line in the sand and it's really time to begin to think? Are you ready to think? Really think. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So success is a system. So this is why we have people at the very top of the company and people down here. You're given the same training. You're given the same directions by your upline. And some are up here and some are down here. And it's only because of mindset. This is a picture of Melissa Popping. She's actually from Young Living, and I coached her at an event at Bob's. And she was sharing with me how her company in network marketing, she was earning about $100,000 a year in her company. And her income went up to over $1 million and now reported way over 50 million. And she's got multiple streams of income. What's interesting is she now teaches mindset to her team more than anything else because she understands how important this is. Success is a system and it leaves clues. Look to your leaders on this call because they know what they're doing and adopt their mindset beliefs and ask them, what do they see in you? Ask your upline, what do they see in you? Because oftentimes they see what your mind isn't even allowing you to see. And what's awesome about that is that it's your truth. There are no coincidences out there. Success is a system. This is a message I received. I'm not even sure if you'll remember, Kathleen, she's on the call as well, that just 3 days after this seminar, very similar to this, she added 5 new people to her team and doubled her volume in 24 hours. Why? Because she accepted the belief that she could. Fast forward, the same person, she attracted 11 new business partners in 11 days. We were working on the belief together that she could have 1 new business partner a day. Listen, this is the truth. If you can attract 1 new business partner at all, you can attract 1, you can do that every single day. If you can have $500 in sales in 1 day, you can do that every day. You might start to think about how. The how isn't up to you. It's just what do you want and what do you believe? So let's get into this. Let's talk about your goals. So there are 2 things you need to know to create success. The first one is the goals, and we're going to get into that right now. Your goal, where do you want to go in this company? What impact do you want to make in network marketing? in the industry, in your company, in your city? What impact do you want to make? Why are you doing network marketing? You know, what is the reason, and how do you want to help other people? So you want to know where you're going, and I want you to have a money goal. It's very important to have a money goal, something that you can measure. And if you have a sales goal for your company, translate that into what the income could be. If you have a promotion, ask your upline, what is the average income at that promotion level, at that level, so that you have a money goal, and then divide that money per month. And that is where you're going. Now, what's interesting is we used to believe that successful people, all they needed was a goal. But what we noticed after 60 years of research through Bob Proctor and the Proctor Gallagher Institute, he's realized that having a goal is not good enough. It's actually not enough. A lot of people have goals and still don't reach them. So where you're going is only one part of what you need to know to create the success. The second part is where you are right now. Where you are right now with your current results is because of your current mindset. And we have to know where you are in order to get you to where you want to go. This is very important to understand. It's just like, you know, driving. If I'm going to get into my car and drive from Toronto to New York City, I need to know I'm in Toronto in order to get the roadmap to go to New York City. You see what I'm getting at? Does that make sense? Is it resonating? What's also interesting to understand, I want you to really think about this. Let's say where you are right now is earning $50,000 a year. $50,000 a year, great income for many people, right? Great income. And $50,000 a year is where that version of me makes very specific choices, where I shop, where I go on holiday, the kind of car I drive. All of that is most likely due to the income I have. And let's say $50,000 Danielle is probably renting a cottage for the holidays. She's driving a Toyota, at least I was then, you know, driving a Toyota, shopping at H&M. Nothing wrong with any of these decisions, but it's where I am. Then if I have a goal, let's say to get to maybe 500,000 a year, I'm going to make it 10x my income, which is possible. Yeah, I hear some of you might say, well, how? Don't worry about that right now. But what I want you to get a good handle on is $50,000 version Danielle versus $500,000 version of Danielle. They're very different energetic places. They're very different people. They're making very different choices. $500,000 Danielle is vacation, maybe taking her family to all-inclusive Mexico. She's maybe driving a Mercedes instead of a Toyota. She is shopping at, I don't know, maybe Aritzia or even Louis Vuitton instead of H&M. You can see the choices are different. And the way that I'm showing up is different. My posture is different. How I meet and greet prospects. My confidence is different up here than it is down here. See what I'm saying? So these two things, these two places that there with you, with your goal achieved, is a place. And I'm going to take you there tonight. So these are the two things that you need to know. Where you currently are, which is a result of your current thinking, and where you want to go. Now, what's interesting is what most of us do, we sit down here where we currently are, let's say $50,000 version, and we say, okay, I want to promote. I want to get there. I want to get to the top of my company. How do I do that? And we start to think about ideas on how to get there, who to approach. And we continue to take action in this mindset. But what's interesting is where you are now with this current mindset, taking action in this mindset is going to get you more of the same. Can you relate to that? And what's the definition of doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result? Insanity. So what we need to do is we need to take you to your goal achieved in your mind using your imagination. And it's important to then work backwards. Take yourself to the goal achieved and imagine, see yourself there, and then ask, what can I do? Who can I contact from that place to achieve this goal? Does this resonate? If this is a huge difference, and we're going to actually do this tonight. This is why Lauren increased her commissions by 25,000 with one call, because she went to the place of her goal achieved, got a good idea, a name of a person, followed up, acted, and boom, the universe reacted and responded to her. So there are 3 types of goals. The first type of goal is a goal that you know how to do, an A-type goal. This is something that you've already done before. So let's say last month your sales for your business were $5,000. If you want to do 5,000 again in March, this would be an A-type goal. You already know how to do it. You did it last month. So there's not a whole lot of growth attached to that. Often Bob uses an example of someone that wants to get a new car. So, you know, driving my Toyota, my lease is up, and this year I want to get a new car, just the newer model. It would be an A-type goal. It's more like a to-do list item, not a good goal. A B-type goal is something that is logical. It is something that you think you can do. Now, I want you to really pay attention here, because this is where most of you most likely are sitting. A B-type goal is something that is logical, and if you take the action and follow your plan, if A, B plus B plus C line up, you'll hit your goal. So that might mean if she hosts and she says yes to the business, and you sell this many packages by the end of the month, you'll get your goal. Do you see that? So it's very logical. What's interesting about a B-type goal is there's not a lot of motivation in a B-type goal, and so we get stopped. This is why we set a goal, and when it doesn't look like it's coming together close to the end of the month, we retreat. I know I said my goal was 40,000 in sales, but you know what? I'm fine with 25. You know what? It's February and it was slow, so 25's, you know, that's what I did last year, or maybe I did 20 last year, so you know, 25 is good. See, there's no growth attached to B, and there's no motivation. So when we hit a roadblock, when someone cancels, when someone says no to the business, we tend to retreat. Can you relate to that? That was me. C-type goal. A C-type goal is something that you have no idea how to do. A C-type goal is something you fantasize about. It's something you won't want to admit to many people, maybe not even your upline. It's what you really, really want in this business. I want you to really think about this. If you knew you couldn't fail, what is it that you want this year, in the next 6 months? What do you want to achieve in your business? What impact? How big do you want your team? What do you want to be known for in your company? Is it top recruiter? Is it duplication? Is it sales volume? Is it the speed at which you got the promotion? I want you to tap into your imagination and listen to that little voice from within, that little voice that says, it's a quiet voice, but that's your inner being telling you what's for you. It has that desire. And you want to capture and listen to what you want before the stronger voice comes in and says, who do you think you are? No one's ever done that before. What, are you crazy? Did you see your numbers last month? That louder voice is just your programming, and I hope that others have that loud voice, that loud voice, and I'm not the only one. But that loud voice is something I'm going to teach you about today. It is a con artist. We call it a paradigm, and it comes from your programming. It is not your truth. Your truth is that quieter little voice telling you what you want. In a universe where everything is possible, what is it that you want? Anything is possible. The great leaders, the great thinkers said that if you can hold it, if you can see it in your mind, you can have it. They didn't say if you could see, part of it, or if you've had the right education, or if you sponsor the right business partner, you can have it. They said, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. So what is it that you really want? And I love to get connected to what I want by asking myself why I want it 7 times deep. So let's say you want to be known as a top recruiter, or perhaps for top volume, or maybe the person that's helped the most moms in your company. Why? Why is this important to you? And I ask 7 times deep because I then get connected to the person, like who you really are. And I've noticed it becomes emotional. And then it really means something. And we often hear about our why in network marketing. So this is just coming at it from a slightly different angle. So success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. It's very important that when you're thinking about your big C-type goal, that you adopt this definition of success. You are a success when you are moving closer towards that goal, not when you've hit it, by moving closer to it each and every day. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. You could say a worthy goal. And realization, that word is really important, because when you create the goal is to have you to grow. So through the process of going after your goal, you're going to bring out all these talents and abilities that you have from within. You're going to bring them to the table. And what this allows for is for you to realize who you truly are. And it's incredible. The purpose of your goal is to grow into her or him. And I want to ask yourself this: is your goal worthy of you? Because we're all trading our lives for something. Is your goal worthy of you? Is it big enough? Are you being honest with yourself about what you want? Have you tapped into your imagination? See, your imagination is a muscle, and it's a mental muscle. And most of us haven't used it in a long time, since we were kids. Remember playing Barbies, or maybe you played with pots and pans and you imagined that you were going to be an astronaut, or maybe a world famous actress or actor. That was when we used our imagination. And then we got to school and our teachers told us to pay attention. Can you relate to this? And they told us to stop daydreaming, to pay attention. And at that time, we let go of our imagination. We stopped using it, and it became weak. But I'm going to ask you to get out your imagination again, to see yourself at the top of your company. See yourself with your goal achieved. And I want you to think from that place. What would that be like? No kidding. What would that be like? Because I know this to be true. Everything is possible. Anything is possible. If you can see it, you can do it. So imagination is a mental muscle. I love this quote from Albert Einstein: logic will get you from A to Z. Imagination will get you everywhere. Pretty smart person, Albert Einstein said. We also know this: do not think of the how. Right now, you are thinking about what it is you want, the impact you want to make in your company, the amount of money you want to earn per month by helping other people succeed. The how is not up to you. Isn't that good news? And I don't want you to be logical. I want you to throw the logic out the window. Yeah, but I've got to add up all my numbers. I get that. But see, logic is controlled by your programming. It is controlled by something called your paradigm, and it limits you. Only think of what you want right now. And it doesn't matter what others think either, or what you think they think. It only matters if you want it. And it also doesn't matter right now if you think you can do it. Only do you want it? So I'm going to do a visualization. I recognize it's 9. I'm going to keep going for you. I've got some more planned, and you're welcome to stay on with me. And for those of you that need to hop off, I'll send the recording. I'd love for you to turn off your videos and uncross your arms and legs. I'm going to take you through a powerful visualization now and have you really help you see yourself with your goal achieved, because thoughts become things, right? If you can hold it here, you can have it. And this visualization, I recommend that you do with yourself first thing in the morning and first thing at night. Now, with your eyes closed, I'd like you to take a deep breath in. And as you take a deep breath in, relax your body. Allow your body to relax. Relax your arms, your legs, your shoulders. And on the screen of your mind, I'd love for you to see yourself with your goal achieved. Now, it's the end of the year, around the holiday season, and you are in your dream home. And you're at a holiday celebration, and your team's there, your upline, friends and family are there, and you're there celebrating this year. And you're celebrating what an incredible year it's been. I'd like you to look down at your feet in your mind's eye and notice the ground, notice the shoes you're wearing, notice the clothes you're wearing. It's exactly, you look exactly how you want to look, in the body you want to have. You feel so good. What's been incredible is you've implemented this material and your business has just blossomed. What's interesting is you started attracting the business partners that you've always wanted to attract. Your sales have just gone up and up and up. And it seems like magic. And some people have called you lucky, but there's no such thing as luck. This is you. You did this. You took control of your thoughts and your actions, and here you are. You've reached your goal. And this year, it's the holidays, and you're just about to take your family on the most amazing vacation to celebrate. I want you to take yourself to the mirror, the first mirror you can find in your home. Take yourself to the mirror and look in your own eyes. I want you to see yourself. And notice how your hair and makeup is exactly how you want it to be. If you wear makeup, you're exactly how you want to look. And look in your eyes and tell yourself how proud you are of you. You knew you could do it. Wow, what a year. Acknowledge yourself. Now from the corner of your eye, your husband or wife or good friend, partner comes up behind you. And they put their hands on your shoulder, and as they do, you turn around. And I want you to look into their eyes. They've come over to you to acknowledge you, to thank you. They've heard so many wonderful things that your team has said about you. They've all been watching you go. They knew you could do it too. How does that feel? This person's thanking you for the most amazing year, for changing your family's life. This was you. So much has changed in the past year. How does that feel? You've won the awards, hit the goals, and now in just a couple weeks, you're taking your family on this vacation. How does it feel? And as they're telling you how proud they are of you, They have tears in their eyes because they always knew you could do it. How does that feel? How does it feel to wake up every morning so excited for life? So excited to jump into your business. You get to work with the most amazing people, your upline, downline, your clients. It's so incredible. And you're busy in a good way. It just feels so good. People are saying yes to you. How does that feel? How does it feel to put your head down on the pillow at night and absolutely love what you're up to? Be so proud. You received messages every single day from the people that you're impacting, the lives that you're making a difference with in both your product and your company and the business opportunity. How does that feel? I want you to turn around now and look back into the mirror and tell yourself, I love you. Tell yourself how proud you are. Really look into your eyes. What do you see? This is you. And you're just getting started. When you're ready, you can come back. How did that feel? Maybe you can write in the chat. Did anyone get emotional? Could you see yourself? Could you see your husband or wife or partner as they acknowledged you? How did that feel? Yeah. See, this is the truth. This is the truth. Einstein has this quote, and I take a screenshot. Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want. And you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. You just saw yourself with your goal achieved. That means you can have it. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what is imagined and what is fake. For you, that happened. And because of that, that is your reality. Now, what's interesting is I want you to do that 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes every night before you go to sleep. And if you do that, I promise you, and I want you to message me, your business will change in a very short period of time. This is not philosophy. This is physics. It's as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. And I share that in seminars like this. And I know this to be true. Only 3 out of 100 people will actually implement that. Even though I say this is a key to success. It's the same reason why we don't make the calls we're supposed to make every day, or we don't follow up. It's because your programming is holding you back. And although your mind accepts that as truth and you can have it because you just saw it, it's your mind, your subconscious mind, that takes you out. It's that loud voice that says, who do you think you are? And the reality is on this call, you just saw it. And if you keep in this space, it can happen for you like that. But then we go out there and interact with other people and they say, oh, that's not possible. No one's ever done that before. Who do you think you are anyway? And we retreat back to the way we've been programmed. This is my friend Phil Goldfine. He used this exact same technique of visualization to win himself the Oscar, an Emmy, and a Tony. And he's one of the 27 people in the world that has done that. Only 27 people using that exact technique, visualization. And he actually visualized himself giving his award speech to accept the Oscar. Will you implement that? tonight. To change your results, you have to understand the mind. So I mentioned how there's that program that's going to take you out from doing what I'm asking you to do tonight. That programming is called your paradigm. Your paradigm is just your mental programming. Like this phone has a program, you as a human being have been programmed. And it's that program that is getting you the results you're getting. The program shows up as all the habits. It's a multitude of habits that's fixed in your subconscious mind. And a habit is just an idea that you've accepted and have fixed it in your mind as well. So again, your paradigm or programming, same thing. Your paradigm controls your habitual behavior. And almost all your behavior is habitual. In fact, 96 to 98% of your behavior is habitual and therefore controlled by the paradigm. So think about this, all the actions that you're taking from when you get up in the morning till you go to bed, most of that is habits. And it's not true thinking. You can see that. Like, I know exactly what my husband's going to do as soon as he wakes up tomorrow. He'll go through the same motions. And I wouldn't want to get in his way. 96 to 98% of behavior is controlled by your paradigm. Therefore, it's your paradigm that has almost exclusive control over your results. And what's interesting, in order for you to change your results, to change your income, you must change this paradigm. And so in order to change the paradigm, you have to know where it's come from. So your paradigm is the way you've been programmed, and there's two ways you've been programmed. The first is through genetics. You've been genetically programmed. That's why you look the way you look, half from your mom and half from your dad. That one we can understand thanks to biology class. The other one is way more important when it comes to network marketing. Your environmental programming is your paradigm. Your environmental programming is all of the things, all of the ideas that was going around you between the ages of 0 and 7. All the conversations that your parents and caregivers and teachers were saying, all the events that happened, those things that happen the most often with the most repetition went right into your subconscious mind to create your paradigm. And what's interesting, that blew my mind, that I had no idea about, this is what's controlling your results today. So when I was told to go send messages or make calls or, reach out to people, I didn't realize that I had a belief in my subconscious mind about what it meant to be a salesperson. So when I was a kid, we would hear this on the door, and we'd see a guy, if we look out the window, and he was holding a stack of books, encyclopedias, and we were told to go hide in the kitchen because he's going to sell us something. Or when the marketer called us on the phone, my mom hung up. We're busy. Don't interrupt us. We're making dinner. Click. Then when I went out to call people and to follow up, I had this belief that I was interrupting them. And the phone felt like it was £1,000,000. And I would force myself to take action, but in this energy of like, I'm interrupting. And guess what I got? Hang up, or people wouldn't answer, or they wouldn't answer my texts. Listen, what about the industry? What about network marketing or direct sales? What beliefs do you have locked up in your mind because of when you were a young person? What did your parents used to say about direct sales or just sales in general? What did your parents have to say about money? I'd love for you to write some of these things in the chat. Because listen, this is exactly why you're getting the results you're currently getting. Money doesn't grow on trees, or money is the root of all evil. Do you think if you had the belief money is the root of all evil, your mind would allow you to earn more money? No. No, your mind won't want you to be evil. So your results will go up and down, or you'll earn the money and then it will get taken away. Same thing with sales, network marketing. And listen, you can see it as simple as the language you speak. You don't speak the language you speak or your first language because you chose to. You speak it because it was programmed into you and it's part of your paradigm. Now that you are aware of this paradigm in the program and it's getting you the results you're currently getting, it's your responsibility to change it. Now, okay, I should go, who's a mom or a dad, a parent on the call? Okay, when I first heard this, I went, oh crap. Listen, your parents did the best they could with their program, their paradigm. You as a parent are doing the best you can with your paradigm. You can't give something you don't have. And so the best thing to do is to put your own oxygen mask on first, change your paradigm, and then you can help everyone around you. So this is for you, okay? This is for you. You're doing your best and it's okay. Everyone grows up with some sort of paradigm. So let's take a look at how you change your paradigm. I'm going to keep talking fast so I can get through this for you. Thank you for staying on. There's just so much I want to be able to give you so that you can go out and make this shift because it's so important. You will not outperform your subconscious mind. It's not possible. All of our science shows it. So you have two parts of the mind. You have a conscious mind on top, which is where all the education went. All the books that you've read, all the training from your company is right here in your conscious mind. Then you have your subconscious mind on the bottom. This big circle represents your head. Okay, the top is the conscious mind, the bottom's the subconscious mind. Now in reality, you have lots more parts to your mind, but for the purposes of this, for you to change your results, you just need to know about the two parts. Your subconscious mind is where your emotion sits. It's where that paradigm is. It's your self-image, how you think about yourself. It's where all your beliefs are. So if you believe that money is the root of all evil, it's bam, right in the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind controls your doing. It controls the actions you take. This is why you know that you have to make so many connections and network for your company. Maybe it's 10 connections a day, and your subconscious mind controls the doing, so you don't do it. You know what to do, but you don't do it. This is why. So in order for you to start taking that action in a way that feels good, you have to change the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind only can accept, because up until the age of 7, you don't even have a conscious mind. You only have a subconscious mind, and everything that goes on around you went right in there. And your subconscious mind only can accept. So as I took you through that visualization, your subconscious mind saw that as real. For you, that was real. Now your paradigm lives in the subconscious mind and controls 96 to 98% of your behavior. Really important. So if you know and you force yourself to make those calls or to make that outreach or to do that presentation, that's 2 to 4% of the conscious mind. So consciously you know what to do, and bam, you get stopped because of the way you are programmed, your beliefs that are in your subconscious mind. Powerful. The results you're achieving are a direct reflection of that image that you're holding in your mind of you, of your business, and of your company. And if you become what you think about by law, I wrote this saying above my desk. Actually, it was on sticky notes everywhere. Be careful, Danielle, what you are saying, because you are listening. Your mind has to prove you right. The thoughts become things. What have you been programmed to believe? Your paradigm, that programming controls your perception around network marketing, your perception around this business, perception around you, your use of time, your self-image, your confidence, your creativity, even your productivity and your effectiveness. How you use time, how productive you are during that time is controlled by the paradigm. your logic, your money, your relationships. All of that is controlled by the programming. This is huge. Your programming is, your paradigm is like a thermostat setting. And this is why your results can go up and down. Each one of you has a setting that your mind has been set at. And I wish it was set towards your goal, but it's not. Your mind is set towards the paradigm. So just like a thermostat on the wall, right now mine's set at 22 degrees. And if my front door was left open, the temperature would go down in my home and maybe go down to 15, and the furnace would set in to bring it back to 22 if you're Celsius, if you're in Canada. Same thing for you. Your mind has a setting for your sales, for your money, even your weight, how you use time. And anytime you go beyond that, let's use weights. Let's say you lose 10 pounds. Guess what? Your mind will find 15. It has to bring you back to that setting. And so what you need to do is reprogram your mind to have the paradigm of a person with their goal achieved. So if you don't change that paradigm, your results will be temporary and you'll be in a roller coaster. That's why one month you can have an amazing month and the next month down, because it's got to bring you back, the roller coaster. And that's super frustrating. And what's interesting, we see that a lot in network marketers. I work with a lot of leaders, and we see that they can go very quickly to the top of the company and then they get a massive tax bill or something happens to bring them back. We don't want that for you. So change your setting. Success leaves clues. These are all pictures of people that have used this material. This is Christy in the top. She promoted a couple times. A few of you might know her in her network marketing company while she was doing this work with us. Alex on the top left, she's in real estate, went to the top of her company, the top of her, she was number 3 overall in the entire company and number 1 in her office in just 4 weeks. It doesn't have to take very long. As we wrap here, and I give you some more tools to wrap before we wrap, if you aren't already in the Mastering Your Mindset Facebook community, join us. You can find me on Instagram and it's a free community. Is this resonating with you tonight? You can tell I have so much to share. If this resonates, join that community because I go live and we share in that often. We share examples of success. We share tips and tools, and you can find it all in that community. And if you're not there, jump over. Here's some more results. I want to share a couple because this is the thing. You've got to really understand what you're capable of. Wendy just text me. Listen, I would love you to write what you text me tonight about your increase. Wendy, if you're on the call, I can't see everyone, but please write in the chat. It's impressive. Wendy's on the bottom left-hand corner. That's her receiving an award from her company. Her mindset has shifted so much from this material. And I'm just so proud of her. This is Kathleen, another person in our group. Kathleen is the person that sponsored 11 new business partners in 11 days. She ranked up so many times, a 700% increase during 6 months in this program. Is that not incredible? Then we've got other examples of Rosanny, who had her best month in insurance in February when they told January when they told her it was the slowest month. Listen, whatever you believe is to be true for you, you can have. I want you to accept these 4 pillars of success. Mentorship. In your company, success has left clues. You have examples of people that have gone to the top. Many of them are on this call. Reach out to them. Ask them very good questions. Find someone who has achieved what you want to achieve. Do not ask your neighbor for advice in network marketing. Do not ask a sideline for advice that is at the same level as you. Ask a mentor. And if you're looking to multiply your income, reach out. That's what I like to show people how to do. Accountability. Accountability is your insurance against failure. Accountability is your insurance against failure. It's so important to be accountable. And what's interesting is when we give our word to someone else, we will most likely keep it. So declare your goal. Declare what you want to be kept accountable to, maybe to your upline, to an accountability partner. Mindset, that's why we're here. 95% of success is due to your mindset. Action. Now, I don't want you to keep taking the same old action over and over, like, you know, that definition of insanity. I want you to take an action from a new place. Instead, go to the visualization that I gave you. Go there in your mind with your goal achieved. And when you get out of that visualization, just 5 minutes, take pen to paper and write down every idea that comes to mind. Ask, how did I get there? Because there, that visualization, there is a place. And if you can see it in your mind, you can have it. And so your goal becomes like a puzzle for you to solve. And if you ask yourself, ask intuitively, how did I get there? Who can I call? Who's my next business partner? Whose life am I supposed to touch and change today? And listen. Sometimes you don't even get an idea. That's okay. Ask tomorrow. Sometimes you get 10 names, 15 names. Reach out to every single one of them. Promise? Is this resonating? There's some beliefs that I want you to adopt. The truth about network marketing. When we poll millionaires on how they became millionaires, they all tell us they have multiple streams of income. The world, people are looking for financial freedom. At the Procter Gallagher Institute, when we ask people what they want, they say they want financial freedom, they want to do what they love, and they want to be surrounded with positive people. Those three things. Network marketing can give people all of those things. Financial freedom, multiple streams of income. It can give you time. It surrounds yourself with positive, like-minded people, your communities. And you wake up doing something that makes a difference. That's what you're holding on to. So my question to you are, who are you to not share this with absolutely everyone? The only reason up until yesterday, up until this seminar, that you weren't sharing it with absolutely everyone was just that the beliefs you were holding. Let go. This isn't about you. This is about the lives that you're about to touch. You have such a gift. Invite them into your community. You know, want to know, one of my best friends, she told me something. I never asked her to join my company. And I just made all of these assumptions. I asked her to be a client. And she did. She uses the products. And listen, what she told me is she asked me, why didn't you ever ask me to join? Did you not think that I was cut out for it? And I just had a pit in my stomach. We don't know who's just waiting for us to ask. Think of those three things that people are looking for. Community, wake up every day, surrounded by positive, like-minded people, doing something they love, and financial freedom. That's the belief system that I want you to have around network marketing. So there's a study that says 3% of people will achieve their success on their own. How many of you were working hard, trying to make it work on your own? Reach out for help. 97% of you will achieve 92% of your goal with the help of a mentor and circle of influence. This is why you want a big C-type goal, a goal that you have no idea how you're going to achieve it, just that you want it, something that's going to make you stretch and grow. So how do you change those paradigms, those nasty paradigms? There are only two ways. The first way is through an emotional impact, something negative happening. We don't want to wish a negative event on any one of you. A negative event can happen, and in a moment, your belief systems about you and your life will change. The second way is through repetition of ideas, repetition of materials, repetition of your goal. We call it in this work spaced repetition. And so over time, you're going to reprogram your mind exactly the way that it was programmed in its first place, through repetition. And so in order to do that, you're going to need to study, you're going to need to surround yourself with like-minded people. And here's a quote from Bob Proctor. In order for the individual to make a shift in logic and break out of that box to freedom, understanding of what? Understanding of you and your mind. Courage. You're going to need courage to step out, right? And even do this business. I acknowledge you. Courage is needed and determination is required. In this book, Think and Grow Rich, pick up this book and read the chapter on persistence. That will give you the determination you need to succeed. Persistence, determination is required. This generally only happens with a coach, mentor, circle of influence. Make sure you're getting the help you need. So what can you do now? Thanks for highlighting my screens. No, you're good. What can you do now? Well, for everyone, I want to thank you for being on this call. My team, we've got Nora who's on here. We've waived the fee for you to get on a strategy call with us. What I know to be true, nothing happens until you've made a decision, until you've got emotionally connected to your goal. We've got to move your goal from your conscious mind into your subconscious mind. And that's exactly what we do in this strategy call. Now, there were 200 people that registered for this seminar, and the recording's going out tonight right after. So I highly recommend that you act quickly, because we only have so many spots available. So you want to text strategy to this number, 226-355-9819, or Nora, you can even share the direct link in the conversation there, and you can book that. Act quickly. Like I said, there's 200 people that have registered for this. You want to complete the workbook. I went through much of that workbook, but you're going to need to do the thinking. No one can do it for you. And so take the time to get connected to what you want, where you currently are. And I've helped you with the law of compensation on there. I've even helped you identify your knowing doing gaps so that you can start taking the action. Declare your C-type goal. What was it that you decided to achieve, and send it. Send your goal to your upline by Friday. Declare it. Draw a line in the sand. Make a decision today that your life is going to change. Book your strategy session. Text the word strategy to that number, and make sure that you join our free group so that you can be surrounded by big thinkers, people that 10x their income. Think about that. What would you do with that? Here are your daily strategies. Study this book. Study the mind and how it works. Find your mentor. Do affirmations. My favorite, and we can help you. I have so many, but one of my favorites was QV sales and qualified leads come easily to me. I love money. Money loves me. Affirmations are key. Gratitude. Gratitude to start your day. Get yourself in that vibration of gratitude each and every morning before you do your visualization. Visualize. I taught you how to do that tonight. And accountability is your insurance against failure. So create your accountability. Make a decision right now to live the life you want to live. Make a decision that this is your year. You're going to the top of your company. You're doing it because why? Because you want it. You don't know the how, and that's not up to you, but you're committed to reprogramming your mind and getting the success that you've always wanted. You said yes for a reason. And when you said yes to your opportunity, you saw, your inner being saw what was possible for you, or you wouldn't have said yes. Now it's your chance. Draw the line in the sand. So I want you to go back to that one thing that you wanted to achieve this year and the one thing that you want to change. Add a 0 perhaps to your goal. Make it a C-type goal and commit, mentally commit. It's going to take a decision. There's a difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested in something, you'll do it only when it's convenient. When you're committed to something, you'll accept no excuses, only results. You must make a committed decision and accept no excuses, only going to the top. So here's your action. And I want to thank you so much for staying on the call longer than what I thought I'd be. But I'm here to stay on with you to answer your questions. I'm committed to you understanding this. So with that, thank you for those that need to run and put little ones to bed. The number to text, we will put that in the group. Oh, you know what? I see that. Rebecca, you can click the link that Nora wrote. Does anyone have any questions? I went through that really quickly. Brittany, I see you on the call, girl. Nice to see you. I'm seeing familiar faces now that I can see everyone. Are any questions? Did this resonate? Brittany, what did you get tonight? You've heard me before. What did you get tonight? I'm curious.
Well, I wanted to be RVP by the end of this year in Arvon, but I think I really want to be ERVP. And self-image is a huge aspect for me, and environment is a huge thing too. So the environment that you're in and the belief system that you have, and definitely self-image.
So when we did the visualization, could you see yourself there as an ERVP, that level in your company?
Yes. So I always visualize two different things. One is the car dealership, because I've test drove Mercedes and I've been there. And then the other one is sort of like the Benz bash that we like our team would have. So
incredible. So what I want you to do is, in that future memory, this is for everyone in the call, when you create a future memory of something that can only happen when your goal is achieved, I want you to play it out in your mind. Okay, so you could have as many as you want, right? So for you, Brittany, it's the car, like the party. Let's start with that. At that party, I want you to notice in your mind how, like, what is your posture? How are you acknowledging prospects that come, your team? What is your attitude? What are the thoughts you're thinking, the feelings you have, the actions that you took? And what I want you to do, and this is for everyone, once you can see it, then you can literally walk into that person. You can decide, Brittany, today to be her. And this is the key for everyone. You must be it first. Take action in that energy second. And number 3, then your results on the outside change. In order to change the outside, your inside has to change. All science has proven that. And what's interesting is most of us go and we try to change the outside. We'll go and change more action. Do you get that, Brittany? Like, you might go make more calls without changing this.
Yeah. But
listen, I can tell you, quantum leap happens when you change this and then do your calls.
Well, I've believed in the power of visualization before last week, but when I went to Wendy's house for the last 4 days of the month, and we studied the chapter on faith, and we visualized numerous times a day me achieving my area manager bonus for the first time in one of the slowest months, they say, in Arbonne, and the double the bonus month. And I just held the faith, and even though I didn't know where it was going to come from or how it was going to happen, I just knew that we had to keep ourselves in good vibration. We went for lots of walks in nature, and it was just bouncing off each other's energy and being so excited. for what was going to happen. And then I did it for the first time. So it was really exciting.
That's so incredible. And did everyone hear that? So what she was doing, you know, she held the vibration of that goal achieved, stayed calm despite there not maybe necessarily being evidence of it coming together.
Mm-hmm.
She had to see herself first achieve it. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing. That was helpful, I'm sure, for a lot of people on the call.
Yeah, no problem. It was exciting.
Anyone else? Yeah, so exciting. And listen, Brittany, you're just getting started. Like this is, you know, you can do that in 4 days. Imagine where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is what I know to be true, is that your business becomes way easier with this information.
Oh, yes. Makes a significant difference.
Faster and easier.
Mm-hmm.
Faster and easier, right? Working smarter, not harder. Amazing. Anyone else? I'd love to hear from you. What else did you get? Any questions? Comments? Have you heard this before? Does this resonate? Yeah, Anna, I see you're like, yes, yes. Have you used this before, Anna? Oh, let's see if I can help. There you go. You're unmuted.
I've heard you speak before, Danielle, and I'm reading the book Think and Grow Rich. I keep thinking about my paradigm. Maybe it's because my age, my paradigm has had longer to set in. So
yeah, I can relate.
it was really good to hear everything you're saying and remind myself of it. Yeah, I just think, you know, I retired. I taught for 33 years, and I know there's still more out there. I'm still much more than just Mrs. Davies, the teacher, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So your first question, Anna, is like, what is it that you want? And be really honest with yourself. In a universe where anything's possible, what if I could, you know, do anything in this opportunity? What is it that I want? And really let go of what anyone else might think, what you think is possible, because whatever reasons, because of your teaching or whatever, like sometimes they could be positive things that we can use. Either way, it's affecting our beliefs. So you want to just listen to your heart instead and really come up with that. And then, and that's your first step. So like, know how. It doesn't matter about the how. You get really clear on that and make a decision, then the way that the mind works, you'll notice that you'll start attracting everything you need. Like even the books, you know, right now you're reading Think and Grow Rich, even like tools that you need will get attracted to you when you need it. There's no coincidences. Same thing with being on this call. Like the people that are on the call, those that are watching the recording, there's nothing that is a coincidence about it, right? And each person would have heard something very different based on where you are. So you're in a great spot, Anna. Thanks for joining. Okay, so I got a question from Rebecca. Rebecca, you want to come on with me? She says, how do you define what's holding you back? So when on your worksheet, there are a couple questions that I asked you to look at. One is what you know to do. Where's Rebecca? I see you, Rebecca. Hi. So the first thing is to look at what you know to do and you're not doing. Okay, because that's going to give you a really good clue. And so that's on your worksheet. We all know things that we're supposed to be doing every day in our business. And the other one is listen to, so that's going to show you like how the paradigm's showing up in your life. Because remember, the paradigm is a multitude of habits. It's your programming and it shows up in habits. And you'll notice that you habitually won't do the same thing. So maybe you habitually don't follow up, or you habitually procrastinate, or la la la. And so then that shows you just how you've been programmed. And you can most likely look back and even see similarities in your parents, siblings, right? And also other areas of your life, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. Does that resonate, Rebecca? So then once you can see this habitual behavior, And you also want to be listening to that voice, that loud voice going, who do you think you are? Or you're too old, you're too young, you're not good enough, you don't know enough people. Those beliefs that become louder and louder as you take action, they're part of what's holding you back, and they're part of the paradigm. And how do you mentor your team in these things? Great idea. Great question too. Rebecca, do you want to come on? How many people do you have on your team?
Working maybe eight to 10. I mean, that want to work, I should say.
Yeah, great. So I would right away break them up into groups, accountability groups, 3 people at the minimum, and have them stay accountable and show up to a daily or weekly call, like together, to like check in, and not make it around conversation, but actually make it around activity. And have them get them to watch this webinar, I'll send you the recording, Rebecca, and have them do that as the first thing. Create their mini teams and have them show up and actually take action. Some of you might call it like a power hour. Have them do their power hour even together, and you can break them up in time zones, let them break up their group. We found so much success when like community is so much. And then as you, Rebecca, put your own oxygen mask on first and you're shifting your own paradigms, you'll notice that you'll attract a different team. You'll pull out of your team the habits that you want them to have. Does that make sense? So right now your team's reflecting what you have in here. They have to, what you think. And so when you change, they change. Have you ever heard that about perception before? We change the way we look at things, the thing changes. Yeah, so those are some things I'd recommend right off the top. Does that help?
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anyone else? How can I help? What's stopping you?
Hi, Danielle.
Hi, Erin. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. Nice to see you on.
I was wondering, when you're thinking about your future self and your big goals and that, do you put a more of a timeline on it? Because I have goals for myself in this year, but I also have bigger goals for myself in the future. So what's the best to focus on?
Yeah, great question. So you actually want both. You want to have something that you want to achieve in the next 6 to 12 months. Okay. And then you also want, which needs to be a C-type goal, something you don't know how to do. It's going to scare the living daylights out of you. And then you also want something that is a longer vision, a 3 to 5 year mark. And what's interesting is once you get into this work, Erin, like that 3 to 5 year, what I notice with people, they can actually achieve that in their first year to 18 months. It actually doesn't need to take as long, but the mind right now most likely won't accept it. So give yourself both vision, like your longer vision, and then your closer goal. And listen, this is what I want you to do. I want you to write down a laundry list of all the things you want, personal life, professional life, and make a long list. Relax and just keep adding. And then notice that your vision's kind of like a mountain. So if you think of this as Mount Everest, the vision, that top, what you want to do, the impact that you want to make 5 years from now, even 10 years ago, 10 years from now, that's going to be the top of your mountain. And you'll notice when you achieve that, all of the other goals will come into place. You see that? And you'll achieve those too. So then your goal becomes a bite out of that vision. What I want you to make sure, Erin, is that your goal for the next 6 to 12 months is still a C-type goal. Make sure it scares you. And then ask yourself, okay, who am I when I've made that impact, that longer vision? And then sort of like you can even work backwards. Who do I need to be? You know, how am I talking? What's my level of confidence? And just by recognizing it and being honest with yourself, you'll allow yourself to start being that now. Like you'll have the tools, and then say, okay, well, how can I be that confident now? It's a decision. how can I be positive like that now? It's a decision. And then each day you're going to need to commit to being her now. Does that resonate?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, great question. Great question. Anyone else? You guys are good. Thanks for staying on.
I'll ask one. Sorry, I didn't do the homework, the workbook yet.
Oh, no, you'll do it. Yeah, you'll do it after this. That's great.
I like what you said about creativity, where in school you're kind of taught, like, put that away. We have to do our stuff now. I struggle having creativity when it comes to like, well, what is that? You know, as you coached us through, there were bits and pieces of things that make me happy that I can visualize. And obviously I've had a vision for my life as far as how it would flow and becoming a mother, and I have my kids, and now as I'm kind of, you know, my kids are growing, like I want to create more of a vision, but I'm just like, how do you get creative? How do you like tap into that?
Yeah, great. So we all have an imagination muscle, and the truth is we're all very creative, right? It's just, and most people say, well, no artists are creative, but the reality is we all are creative. It's just that your muscle's weak. So you want, just like a muscle in the body, you want to take it to the gym every day. And this is the mind gym. So take your pen to paper and start writing. Start writing about what it is that you want. And I asked myself those questions that I said tonight, like if I didn't believe it was impossible, if I had a magic wand, what is it? I like to start with a mind maps. Have you ever done where you just put the bubble, like I write me in the center, and then I write family, do, relationships, do. And it's like just a point form. And I write all the areas of my life, my business, my team, my health, my relationships, my faith. I even write my personal development, because all of that's really important to me. And so, and I write out how, like, if I've got a magic wand, what do all those areas look like? And the more that I relax, the more that I use that imagination muscle, the stronger it becomes. And the only way we can strengthen it is through use. And you know what? What's also really interesting is we have other mental muscles. We have memory. So most people think they either have like, oh, I have a bad memory. There's no such thing as a bad memory. There's only weak or strong, because it's a muscle. So we can strengthen it through use. Same thing. So memory, intuition is also a muscle. Your imagination, your will, your ability to focus is a muscle. Your perception's a muscle, the way that you see things. So for you, Rebecca, I'd say spend time writing to see the picture. A lot of people think that they will just go to a visualization and then maybe write what they see here, but it's actually the opposite. You want to write, because writing causes thinking, and we think in pictures. So write first to see, write to think, especially when we start. Does that help?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Awesome. Anyone else before we wrap? I see calls coming in, so some of you are taking up those spots. That's good to see. Oh, Wendy shared her goal too, 300% increase in sponsoring. You guys, 300%. I didn't mention this for me. In 2.5 years, I had sponsored 5 people in my business. I made a goal to make that. I wanted 5 new business partners a month. I had no idea how. By the second month in this work, 5 was my new normal. And I sponsored 5 for the next consecutive 5 months. And I was number 3 in Canada for sponsoring for my level. Like, it's, so Wendy's 300%, that's what we're talking about. You know, it's just what you don't need to even believe it that is possible right now. It's just, do you want to make that kind of difference in your company? 300% increase in sponsoring and crush the corporate paradigm in February. 104 new team members. I love it. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. That's who texted me earlier. I didn't want to share it in case she didn't want me to. Anyone else want to unmute? Nora, I see you. Thanks for being on, Nora, and helping everyone out. This is Nora, everyone. She's on my team.
Hello.
She'll help you get connected to your goal with me. Amazing. Okay, well, I've committed to staying on till 10. So is there anything else? What can I do? 5 more minutes. Anyone have a block that they can see?
I have
Yeah, Kim. Hi, Kim.
hi. So we have a vision for our lives, but if we're in a marriage, a partnership, and if they have a different vision, how do we get them to meld that the universe will bring that together?
Yeah, great question. Really good question. I actually just did a podcast on partners. This is one of the most common things that I get. So first of all, your goal is always your own goal. Okay. And also, let me tell you something from experience. People do not resist change. They resist being changed. So another great thing to remember is that force negates. So if you have a vision and you are forcing that idea on a partner, they're going to go the other way. Force negates, okay? So the best thing to do is to become very clear and honest with yourself about what you want. Like I was talking about, tons of details. And ask your partner, your husband, to do the same, your marriage partner to do the same. And you each do it in isolation, and then you want to come together and share those ideas. Have you done that?
In some form we have, yeah.
Okay, and are they very different?
No,
Okay.
it's just I do more of it than he does.
Yeah, got it. Okay, so I think I know where you're coming from. Like ideally you want him to believe all this too and believe what you want, right? Like you're the big thinker. Is that what I'm hearing?
He believes it. It's just, it's not his focus.
Got it. Okay, so and he has his own personal goals and what he's up to. Like, is he thinking big for himself, or has he keep playing?
Not as much, no.
Okay, got it. All right, so this is the best advice and it worked for me. After I learned that force negates and that people don't resist change, but they resist being changed. So I don't recommend you go down that route, because that was a good year and a bit of my life. Instead, you want to put your own oxygen mask on for you, Kim. You want to get very crystal clear on your goal, and you want to hop into mindset work so that you are changing your paradigm and you're proving it. You're proving that big thinkers are rewarded. You're proving that you can literally have and be anything you want. And by doing that, you'll like rub off on him in a way, and you'll inspire him. And you'll not only inspire him, you're going to inspire everyone else in your life. And so what's most likely happening in your relationship is you most likely operate on a high frequency up here, and he might operate on here, like not bad, but just a little bit lower. In order for you to resonate with him, you most likely have to lower your vibration, or else you wouldn't be in harmony, meaning you wouldn't connect. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And so at one point you were down here, maybe then you got introduced to your company and personal development, and then you started thinking like this. So and I used to do this too, I would lower myself or my husband, my vibration, and I didn't even know I was doing it, but it was the only way that we got along. As soon as I stopped doing that, because it doesn't serve him if you lower. Instead, you keep yourself up here with your goals and you're crystal clear. And then what happens is you literally give him permission to rise up. And because you're thinking big, talking big, your energy is going to pull him up. Now, you can't force it, and you want to just keep doing you. And even like leaving books around, or leaving videos on doesn't work. So just like keep doing you, focus on you. And it's so interesting. I've seen it happen in so many, some of you are on the call that I've coached you on this too. Some of the clients that they've come up to meet you, and it's the most beautiful thing. Before you know it, Kim, he'll be thanking you. He'll be thanking you like I showed you in that vision, because you've inspired him, you've shown him what's possible, and he'll come up. Just promise me you won't do that, right?
Yep.
Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, good. Oxygen mask on first, everyone, just like you're on the plane. Same thing for like our kids. It's so cool. Amazing. All right. Well, you've stayed in for the long haul, everyone. Thank you so much. I just, I want to acknowledge each one of you for being in this industry. Know that you are here at the right time. Like there has not been a better time for network marketing, when people all over the world are talking about multiple streams of income, multiple sources of income, and looking to diversify. And this is why it's so important that you talk to everyone you know about your company. And know this, that they're waiting. And as you become more and more true to who you are and what you want, you'll notice that nothing's a coincidence. That person standing in line at Starbucks, that you notice her like fabulous handbag or shoes, you notice that because you're meant to talk to her. So stop looking at your phones and instead connect and know that it's all for a reason. And when you start acting on these ideas, it just can happen like that. Okay, so I love, what my favorite thing about these kind of seminars or webinars is to hear back from you after you've taken action on a name that you've thought of, and you've called that person or text that person, and they're like, oh my goodness, Danielle, I was just thinking about you. Are you still doing that thing? I want to join you. That's happened to so many people. So message me and let me know, because I just love it. I just really, there's no coincidences. So thank you once again for being in this industry, for being on this call, for sharing this call with your sidelines, downlines, uplines, all that good stuff. And make sure that you book your call with us and expect abundance. Reach out if I can help. Thank you so much, everyone. Good night.